We are now in main cathedral of our country, which name is Mtskheta. In 5 minutes I will explain you the meaning of this word and explain you why this name was given to this cathedral. But I think first of all it will be interesting for you to know how old is this cathedral inside which we are now. I want to tell you that this cathedral is 1,000 years old, which means that it's 11th century construction, but it's just third building in this place because in our country, first Christian church which we built in the 4th century, when Christianity became as a state religion, it was built exactly in the same place. Only first church were wooden and fragments of wooden construction we don't have. But from second church, when in the 5th century, quite big stone basilic construction was built, the pillar which is inside of this huge one, and the parts which you will see under the glasses, they belong to the 5th century construction, on the fundament which we rebuilt this in the 11th century. So now it's 11th century, but some parts are from previous churches too, like this part which is opened with the glasses. Of course, our country was several times attacked by enemies, and it was the reason why all churches needed to be renovated. One more reason why we don't have the frescoes from the 11th century is indeed that our country was part of Russian Empire too in the 19th century, and unfortunately Russians decided not to renovate each fresco which was on the wall, but just to whitewash the walls. And when they put the white color on the frescoes, this white color, like on the dome, ate old frescoes and they just gone. That's why walls are from 11th century, but frescoes on the walls are from 15th or 17th century mostly. And also natural colors which we used for painting the walls needed to be renovated after centuries. Natural in this country, which you have to imagine, is first of all wine, especially red wine, saperavi. So we advise you to drink some saperavi, but be sure after drinking this wine, everybody will guess that you tasted it because all your teeth and lips will be red color for a few hours. It has a strong pigment. So saperavi was also the way how we decided to paint the frescoes in red color. So that's why after centuries they needed to be refreshed and repainted, yes. In our country, which is the reason why today you will see a lot of wedding services, because as this place is very holy in our country, a lot of couples want to make their wedding service exactly in this cathedral. Yes, and outside I have seen also some other brides, and in a day in this cathedral to make 50, 60 weddings, it's quite common. This icon is original one, but you can see today such icons almost in every church. But as this is original, this is very special one, where is the story how we built the church. If you remember, I told you that first church here was the wooden one. So our king decided to use as the material for first wooden church that cedar tree which grew on the grave of this lady. They chopped down that cedar tree and made from this cedar tree the wooden pillars which had to hold the roof of construction. And happened such miracle thing that when they chopped down the cedar tree and made the wooden pillars, from that place where this tree was chopped came the holy oil out, some kind of liquid was coming. And when people saw that such miracle thing was happening here, and they started touching this oil and touching this pillar, so if they were ill, they become healthy. If they ask some wishes, their wishes come true. So that's why they decided to call that pillar, which was here, the wooden one, as the life-giving pillar. And the name of this cathedral, which is sometimes hard to pronounce and more hard to remember, Mtskheta. So Mtskheta is translated in English as the life-giving pillar. So the column which was giving life to population. So you can see that Sidonia with the robe of Jesus here, that cedar tree which grew on the tomb of this lady, and Saint Nino, that female who converted Georgia, yes, with our king who decided to chop this tree down, and the wooden pillar which was made from that cedar tree. And when people were touching this pillar and becoming healthy, believe me, all of them tried to take small pieces of that wooden pillar to make for themselves crosses or to keep this holy relic, and it became necessary to make such stone construction around of that wooden one to protect it inside, where is that a silver cross now. And this robe is the reason why everywhere here are buried the kings and our royal family members. Okay. It's a special and secret place that more than 10 kings are buried in this cathedral, and they are royal family members. And I just want to show you on the tombs of our royal family members, on the emblems, this robe of Jesus in the center, which means that for our kings, this dress of Jesus was so special that they decided to put it here. And you can see how people are worshipping still now this place. As in our life, a lot of miracle things are happening still now. We don't have the kings as Russia occupied our country in the 19th century, and we don't have the monarchy in our country. But this royal family member still now exists in Georgia. They are still now alive. They don't have political power, but we respect this royal family as more than 12 centuries they ruled in our country. This Bagrati, only one dynasty, ruled 12 centuries in Georgia. So if somebody is dying now from this royal family, they are still now allowed to bury in this cathedral, and last tomb in this church is from 2008. So still now this tradition is kept. What I wanted to tell you about our kings, that this white big tomb belonged to that famous king, Vakht Angkor Ghazali, who is the founder of Tbilisi, who moved the capital from here. But I think it will be interesting for you to know that even for that king who moved the capital, this place was very important, and that's why he left the will to be buried in this cathedral. So it's the wedding service, which takes, you can see two priests are at the same time reading the prayers from Bible, and that's why they will finish it faster than just one priest. Or normally, if two persons at the same time are making the service, it takes nearly 20-30 minutes.
So it's here.
No. Couple is one.
Just one couple.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so on which they put the crowns, because they are the king and queen of this day, and this is the very special moment in their life. They will now also change the rings 3 times. Okay. They will drink wine saperavi, which is also the symbol of Jesus, and they will make 3 times a circle around the main icon here, and after they will finish this service. And for bride, it's very special moment in her life, because for her it's not allowed to, so for ladies it's not allowed to reach the altar side, which is the most special part in the church, yes. And on this day, priest after wedding will let to stand on the altar, and that's why for her it's more important than for men, because men can even enter inside the altar. But we just twice in our life, during the baptismal service and during the wedding.
Wonderful, thank you.
So I will try to clean it to be easier for you to see that we have deep well inside which there is the water. And of course it was used as the holy water during the centuries, and we were drinking this water. But when we put the light in, some tourists decided to use it as the well for the wishes and try to throw the coins in. You can see a lot of coins inside, and this is the reason why we are not drinking this water. Yes.
Tourists always do such things.
So now it's not drinkable, but believe me, it was quite fresh and tasty and cold water, as I have tasted it several times. Every church in Georgia was built from the beginning as the fortress. It was not placed just for praying. It was also as the castle and as the fortress for citizens of this town, because if enemy was attacking this place, ladies and babies mostly tried to survive entering in this huge cathedral. And if they had to stay for a long time here, then it was the most important to them to have source of water. That's why in a lot of churches we have well inside of the building. But if some enemy anyways try somehow to attack the church and enter inside, so for that ladies and babies, look please, here we have a lot of secret spaces too between the walls of this cathedral, inside which more than 600 people could hide themselves. Believe me, this church is more huge from outside than from inside, because we have double walls and that secret rooms between the walls. I want to show you how people can get in, and yes, it's the same door.
Oh, same door, okay.
And after entering in, they are passing such narrow tunnels, and then they are reaching very huge size of the rooms, which we have between ceiling and the roof, or inside huge walls which are empty. So this church from the beginning was built with double walls to have some space to hide their treasury, icons, a very important library was here, the books, and also people. And these secret spaces we have inside of these huge walls, and to have air and light in that secret spaces, we have some windows from outside which are not from inside, which means that they are entering in that secret spaces which we have between the walls. True cross on which Jesus was crucified, which was found by Saint Helen, which was the mother of Constantine the Great, which was the emperor of Rome, who declared Christianity as a legal religion in Rome. So they found the true cross on which Jesus was crucified in Jerusalem. And when they found the true cross in whole world, just Georgia was as the Christian country, and our neighbor Armenia. And as we already needed these Christian relics, they sent to us small part of the true cross on which Jesus was crucified, which we are keeping inside of that golden cross, which is on the opposite side of us. Only once a year, when we celebrate Easter and Good Friday, we are taking this cross out, and it's possible for the people to take blessing, to touch, to pray. I want to show you one more church inside of the church, which is the replica of Jerusalem Church. It's the copy of Holy Sepulchre Church, which was built on the tomb of Jesus in Jerusalem. Everybody wants to go to Jerusalem, which is such holy, such historical, such special place, but it's not easy still now for everybody. So we Georgians solved this problem in 14th century with making our own Jerusalem here, with building this replica. And it was said, as this place is full with the holy relics, that 3 times visiting this place, it's already equal to that person visited Jerusalem once. And this is the reason why another bride entered, and how I told you, we will see quite a lot today, as this is second Jerusalem for us, and from Tbilisi and from other places, they are coming here to make such special ceremonies in their life, exactly in this cathedral, Mtskheta. Oh, that secret spaces, you can see one more entrance from here with the ropes. People try to climb up and hide treasury icons. It looks very small, but believe me, people are still now entering from the south because it's nearly 20 meters and more. But I will show you one more hole on the dome between the windows. Yes, and to go there, it's 50 meters now, that hole, and that's why it looks so small, because the height of this church is 50 meters. But to go there, you have to enter in the door, which we had seen already, where was the well, and behind of this fresco of Jesus, we had that secret tunnels inside of double walls. And if you would like to check my word, just go out, and where face of Jesus is, you will see 3 more windows from outside, which are not from inside, which is proving that there are double walls and spaces.
Lovely.
It was said that architect has built such great church in the 11th century
Yeah.
that king was so surprised,
Way back then.
so pleased, but so afraid that maybe this architect will build the same church in some other countries too. So for this he decided to cut the right hand to our architect, not to build such great church somewhere else again. This legend is the most popular in our country because hand is seen on the facade of this church. It's like relief on the stone where you can see the arm. But we are thinking that it's not true story without this provement, because for architect the most important thing is to have his head and brain and mind and not its own hand. That's why if king really wanted not to build a church, he could ask to chop the head and not the hand to the architect. That's why we are thinking that the hand which is outside, it's like signature of the master, just to memorize the name of the person who created the plan of the church and not to show you cut hands. But you know, mostly legends are popular everywhere, yes.
All right, so thank you. I think that's it.
Yes, we already
Thank you so
finished. Thank you too also.